Welcome back to the Luxy Hair channel. My name's Deanna, and today's video we're talking about how to make your curls last longer. So I'm going to share some tips on how to extend your curls after you've curled them, and also if you have a tough time naturally keeping a curl in the first place, I'll share some tips there. So before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed to the Luxy Hair channel, hit that button below, and let's get into it. Okay, so I'm gonna take you through my process of curling my hair. I'm actually pretty lucky because my natural hair is very good at holding curls. I have an easy time. It just holds curls very well, and I know that's not the case for everyone, but I'm gonna walk you through my process, show you what tools and products I use, and also share some tips as I go along. So a quick tip to start, the texture of your hair matters when you wanna curl your hair. So if you're planning on curling your hair, I would suggest doing it on second day hair, because on second day hair, it's slightly grittier and dirtier than on a day where it's freshly washed. So second day is always my go-to, and then by the time third day comes around, the curls are even more like messy, loose, natural. If your hair naturally has a very tough time holding a curl, you can prep your hair first with a thickening mousse, and this is gonna enhance your hair's grit or the texture of it. So I don't always use a mousse because my hair naturally can hold curls very well, but I will show you today. I'm going to use a thickening mousse right now. Like that. So I'm just gonna work the product in from tip to root, just all over. I'm being really messy and just scrunching and working it in. Okay, now my hair is more gritty and ready to hold a curl. But before we get started on curling, I always make sure to use a heat protectant. Damaged hair has a much harder time holding curls, and your curls will start to look more frizzy and unruly if you have damaged hair. This one's mine, it's from Amica. I'm just going to apply that. And then to make sure that the product is evenly dispersed throughout all my hair, I'm just gonna brush it through. I like to use a wide tooth comb. Okay, so this step is optional, but I always love adding a few wefts of my Luxy Hair clip-in extensions whenever I'm curling my hair. They just add so much thickness and volume. So today I'm going to be using a few wefts from my 16-inch set in chocolate brown. But I love how subtle the 16-inch set is for me and my length of hair. It's like pretty much the exact same length as my hair. It's super subtle, but the difference that it makes in terms of thickness and volume is huge. So I'm just gonna take a 4-clip weft and clip that into the back. And to make clipping in my extensions way easier, I also like to use the Luxy Hair application kit. Looks like this. So we have 2 of these clips. They're no slip grip clips. A little fine tooth comb with a rat tooth end. So after clipping in my back piece, I also like to just put in a 2-clip weft, looks like this, and I like to put 1 on each side, and that's it. So using the comb to create a clean part line. And voila. Okay, so now my hair feels a lot thicker and more voluminous. Now it's time to start curling. So achieving curls that really last, I think the hot tool really matters, and so I love using the Luxy Hair Signature Curler. It was specifically designed to achieve curls that last all day. This is what it looks like. It's on, so it's already hot. So it has a 1-inch barrel and it's coated in tourmaline ceramic mixed coating. The Signature Curler allows for even distribution of heat along all of your hair, so it's a must-have for frizz-free curls. If you have longer hair or are wearing hair extensions, the Signature Curler also features an extended barrel, so it's actually 2 inches longer than your typical or average curling wand, which I find so helpful, especially when I'm wearing my hair extensions. So the Signature Curler actually comes in 11 heat settings, so it totally depends on what type of your hair, but I think in general 350 Fahrenheit is a good temperature for getting the optimal curl. If you are wearing hair extensions and curling the extensions, I would use a lower heat setting of around 250 Fahrenheit, as hair extensions are a little bit more fragile than natural hair. So I'm gonna get started on curling my hair. By the way, it comes with a heat resistant mat, so you can set it down and not damage the surface you're on. So another key tip to getting curls that last, especially if you have hair that doesn't naturally hold curls very well. You want to use smaller sections instead of grabbing like big thick sections like this. I would use smaller sections, and that way you'll have a lot easier time curling your hair and creating a curl that will last and keep its shape. So I am holding my wand. I like to hold it horizontally, but you can pick your style with whatever way you like to curl your hair. Depending on how thick your hair is, I like to hold for about 5 seconds. And then the key here also is after you slide out the curl, see how I'm just holding it in my hand? I'm just gonna hold the curl together until it cools down in my hand, and this is going to help it keep its shape for longer. And then slowly let it go. See that beautiful curled shape? It's perfect. And curling like this. Again, I like to hold for about 5 seconds, but it depends what your hair type is. Now I'm going to slide that curl out and hold it. You could also, instead of holding it, after each curl you can pin them with little clips if you want to go that extra mile to really get those curls to hold. But I think this trick is really easy, especially if you're on the go. You can just hold it for a couple seconds and let it go. So I like to curl all my curls away from my face, but depending on what kind of style or look you're going for, you could alternate directions or style everything in the same direction. Okay, so I've curled this whole side. I'm going to not touch it. I'm going to leave it as is. I will brush it out later, but let's work on this side. Okay, so I've finished curling my hair, and the next step and the key to extending your curls is using a good hairspray or finishing spray. So this is my choice of hairspray, but you can use whatever works for you. The key to using hairspray is to spritz it from a slightly lower angle, like up onto your hair versus down. I find that if you're spraying from above, this aims the product to sort of weigh down your curls, and you don't want that, especially if your hair tends to fall flat really easily. Once the hairspray is settled, you can gently brush out the curls. I'm going to use the Luxy Hair loop brush. The bristles are loops, so it's going to be super gentle on the extensions. It's not going to get caught and tear out the wefts or anything like that. But if you aren't wearing hair extensions, I would recommend using a wide tooth comb like this. I find that a wide tooth comb rather than a brush with tightly close bristles, it just gives you more of that perfect loose cascading looks with the waves. I'm actually going to use them both, so I like to start with the wide tooth comb from the bottom because I like to brush from bottom up versus just top down. Separating the curls a little bit. They're still keeping their shape, but it's not too ringlety or tight. And then I'm going to switch to my loop brush for up here so it doesn't get caught on the weft. Okay, and then my next step is I'm going to go and use a few drops of hair oil, and this is going to keep my curls really shiny and, get rid of any frizz. Warm that up in my hands, and then gently I just like to smooth out my curls everywhere. Very gently, because I don't want to have the product weigh down my curls, but I really want that shiny. Another quick tip I want to share if your hair is on the thicker side or doesn't usually hold curls really well is right after you curl your hair, what you can do is take your hair dryer and blast it with cold air after you curl your hair, and the cold air is going to help set that curl. And then after that, once they've set, you can brush them out with your brush, add the hairspray, add the hair oil. I also want to remind you that damaged hair or dry hair or hair with tons of split ends don't usually hold curls super well, and your curls are not going to last that long. And so if you're dealing with any of those things, check out our videos in the description box below. How to prevent damage, fix dry hair, get rid of any of those issues. Alright, that's it for today's video. Hope you found it helpful, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up, and also make sure to subscribe to the Luxy Hair channel below. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next video. Bye!